You're listening to the ESO Network, your station for all things geek.
Hey there, welcome to a brand new episode of the Soul Forge podcast. It's episode 335.
Welcome to the Soul Forge, a place of silent mystery, quiet contemplation, and outright mayhem. Join your host, Sean Vanderloo, as he guides you through the adventures of living. Together, we'll talk about life and love, sex and dating, joy and heartache, memories and loss, and so much more. Don't worry, it's not nearly as pretentious as it sounds. Get ready for life, the universe, and everything on the Soul Forge.
Well, hello everybody, it's your ever-present host, Sean. This week, I thought we would try something a little bit different. I've got my long-lost brother here on the show. It's been quite a while since he's been on the Soul Forge. Why don't you introduce yourself, little buddy?
Hi, everybody. Did you say this was episode 335?
I certainly did.
Wow.
Isn't that incredible?
That is huge. Huge numbers.
It's a huge milestone.
I don't think I've been on since, episode 285 or something like that? I don't know. It's been a while.
I didn't look it up.
Yeah.
But you're here now.
I'm here now.
Really, that's all that matters.
Yeah, you decided it was a good time for me to forge my soul again, so here we are.
Yes, it's always a good time to go soul forging, and what I don't know. I got nothing.
He's got nothing.
No, I just delivered the mail in 35-degree Celsius heat, so I'm a little bit dehydrated, a little bit tired, and
you're a little warm, is what you're saying.
Yeah.
Yeah, it was a hot one. It was a scorcher out there.
A scorcher. That is a good term for what it was today.
Yes, absolutely.
Yes, but I'm here now, and I'm here to not have an interview with you, more of a conversation.
A little conflab.
Yes.
Yeah.
If that's how you want to say it, sure. Why not? There's been a lot of changes in your life in this year of 2024.
Oh, has there been? Yeah, there's been a few.
Why don't we regale the listeners with the tales of woe?
Yeah, because that's what they're tuning in for, to hear my my epic tales of mediocrity and disappointments and sadness.
Okay, so
I will happily say, though, I'm not sad right now. I'm
good.
not depressed right now.
Excellent.
I'm actually in pretty good spirits, all things considering.
Because you've been drinking some spirits? No?
Not today.
Okay.
No,
All right. Well, that's good. That's good.
A couple weeks ago. Yeah.
Oh, well.
Had a couple of rummers.
I don't think that affects you right now.
No, it doesn't.
So we're okay.
We're all good.
So the last time you were on the show, you were busily employed with your full-time job at Best Buy being the appliance salesman.
That is correct.
And you were doing a bang-up job.
So I thought.
Yes.
So I thought.
So what happened?
Well, the bang-up jobs are all the all the appliances that were showing up that were getting ordered, and they were all banged up, and they weren't working, and they were not the correct orders. Whatever the case may be. So this is what happened. Yes, I was the full-time appliance salesman at Best Buy, and I was there for about a year and a half.
Yeah.
I would say. Just about a year and a half. And earlier this year, 2024, off to a hot start like always, on my birthday no less, February 7th, they laid me off.
What?
Future endeavored on my birthday. You couldn't ask for a nicer gift, could you?
I don't think you could.
No, I don't think so. So just let that soak in for a moment there, listeners, if you are privy to any of my previous turmoils.
You have not had the best luck with employment, is what you would say.
I would say that.
Okay.
For sure. So that happened. Okay. It is what it is. They let me go. I went on my wayward son. Got my EI worked out, so that was a thing to save me.
Your employment insurance, so you get a little bit of money every 2 weeks?
Every 2 weeks.
Excuse me? 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Every 2 weeks.
Okay.
Huge money. Yeah, huge.
I'm sure.
So then it was about March, and I said to myself, you know what, self? I was down and out. I had to get up, dust myself off, and I marched my butt downtown. And I went to the help of the Sioux Community Career Center.
Shout out.
Shout out. And through them and Better Jobs Ontario, I got signed up for a 6 weeks course for AZ license training.
What's an AZ license?
Means you can drive big, heavy transport trucks and the like, and all those other commercial vehicles and heavy equipment.
Like a big rig with a 53-inch or 53-foot trailer?
Yes, that's right.
That 53-inch trailer would
53 inches is a little small.
A little bit.
But yeah, 53-foot trailers and what have you. So that...
Dump trucks?
Dump trucks as well, yeah. So that whole thing started in June. Once I got funded and it was approved and everything was good, and I was like, okay, right on. This is fantastic. So it was a 2-week course, or 2 weeks of classes online, like Zoom, basically.
Oh, you didn't even have a proper classroom with a proper teacher. You had to do it all on the computer.
Yeah, it was all on the computer. There was the instructor was there, obviously, but there was like 30 of us in this class. And we had our textbook, and we had to basically read whatever chapter we were doing that day, but there was an audio book of the same thing. So you would be listening to it at the same time as reading it. It was more distracting because of the voice.
Oh.
For those familiar with King of the Hill and one Hank Hill.
Oh no, it sounded like that?
It sounded like that. Instead of selling propane and propane accessories.
Now you listen to me, mister. I work for a living. And I mean real work, not writing down gobbledygook. I provide the people of this community with propane and propane accessories.
We were listening and hearing all about trucking in Canada, but from Hank Hill. Trucking in Canada, like it was just, it sucked. It was hard to get through.
So you were listening to that at the same time you were following along in the book?
That's correct.
Okay, that sounds like it's defeating the purpose.
Yes, a little bit. But there was obviously more than just that. But yeah, that was my big takeaway from that 2 weeks. And then so that continued in through the end of June. And then at the end of June, beginning of July, I was down with the sickness. I don't know what hit me, but it was god-awful, and I was down and out for about a week and a half.
Did you have COVID?
I feel like it was COVID. It felt like COVID. I didn't lose my taste, though, so that was cool. But it still sucked nonetheless. And then, so once I was feeling better, obviously I couldn't go handle any big heavy equipment or big transport trucks while I was feeling that way. So my classes got pushed back and delayed a little bit because it's a 6 weeks course. I was scheduled to be done by the end of July, and then things kind of got pushed back a bit, and so then I only had a few classes in July, and then beginning of August I went back and finished it off. So I did my 3 weeks of in-truck training, learning how to drive standard and with a trailer and driving all throughout the city and on the highways and learning how to back her up and all the things.
All the things?
All those things.
Well,
yeah.
You know what you won't learn to back up with? This promo for another podcast right here on the ESO Network.
It's a new era of Doctor Who, and Earth Station Who is your go-to podcast for all things in the universe. From classic Who to new Who to new Who.
Join Mike, and Mary along with special guests as they discuss the latest news, recap and review stories, explain endings, uncover Easter eggs, and confront controversies.
So Whovians old and new, come along for the trip of a lifetime. The TARDIS has enough room for everyone as we explore this new era together.
And we're back.
Another excellent promo.
Isn't that fantastic?
Oh, I love it.
Quite. So you learned how to drive a big rig and back up its corresponding trailer.
Yes, that is correct.
I have backed up trailers on occasion.
Yeah.
Not in a big transport truck or anything, just in my Jeep.
Mm-hmm.
It's not fun. It's not easy.
No, it isn't.
It's counterintuitive.
Yes.
My dad can do it like it's nobody's business. Doesn't even have to think about it. He said, "Oh, you just do this and do this and do this." I'm like, "Well, that's easier for you to say with your 50 years of experience."
Yeah, that helps a lot.
But it's going to take me 16 times just to get it straight.
Yeah, absolutely. It's not the whole course actually was not easy. I found it to be very challenging. I've only ever tried to drive standard in a vehicle a couple of times some years back, and that was not happening for me. So
So not only did you have to learn to drive with a trailer, you also had to learn to drive standard.
yes.
Oh boy.
Yes.
And how did that go?
Well, there was luckily some occasions where we took just the tractor out and no trailer attached, and that was obviously a lot better, because you need to learn how to shift and clutch and do all those things before you ever think about hooking up a trailer.
That makes sense.
You know what I mean?
I do.
So I can happily say I learned how to do it. I did it. I did it. I didn't hit anybody. I didn't hit anything.
Really?
There was no accidents. Did I stall it out a few times? You damn right I did.
Well.
And that's going to cost you. And it did. But it's fine, because I recovered. I didn't panic. There was no whatever. Yeah, so and it's these things are not in the best shape either, right? So they're older.
The old crappy trucks that aren't really on the road anymore. They've heard training the drivers that are going to be taking these jobs.
Yeah, exactly.
Okay.
So I mean, you're going to have some technical issues here and there with things, and
maybe that's better. It's better to learn.
Oh, absolutely.
On
I
an
agree.
old piece of crap.
Yeah.
Because then if you can master that, the new stuff should be a piece of cake.
yes.
That's how Dad did it. That's how America does it. And it's worked out pretty well so far.
Is that their theory?
That's the theory.
Is that what they told you, or you're just guessing?
I'm just guessing.
No, okay.
Makes sense to me, right? Yeah.
So how difficult is it to back up a transport trailer truck thing?
You know, it depends on the type of backing in that you're going to do.
Is there more than one?
Oh, yes, there are plenty of kinds.
Can you tell me some?
There's the snake, or the S serpent turn corner, serpent back up. There's the offset. There's multiple. There's the straight back in. Like there's a few.
And did you learn all of them?
I didn't learn all of them, but we did mostly the offsets.
Which is what exactly?
So you're gonna basically pull up into the area that you want to back into, but you don't have a straight shot. So you got to go up, and then you've got to adjust your tractor and trailer so you can go back and line it up into the correct spot and do that. So we did that a bunch of times, and I kind of got the hang of it. I did get the hang of it. It's difficult. It's not easy by any means. But once you do it, it's a little easier.
That makes sense. Practice makes better.
Practice makes perfect, as they say.
Mm-hmm.
But many times throughout it, I was questioning myself, and my mind was, or my brain was trying to sabotage me, let's say.
Not your brain.
Not my brain. And there would be these, I went 3.5 weeks without doing anything. So
just the way the
schedule fell. And so I hadn't done anything for that 3.5 weeks. So I go back to start, and it's like learning all over again. So any previous practice and experience I got was poofed. It was gone.
It had just flittered away.
It flittered away. And so I was very frustrated with myself. Then, because I was doing things a little opposite, I realized that made my transition to it a little bit better.
Okay.
I figured out what I was doing wrong. I can tell you right now, I kept skipping 5th gear and going straight to 7th. Apparently, I didn't like the 5th gear at all. I just kept avoiding it.
What about the 6th gear?
6th gear? Nah, who needs the 6th gear?
You don't need 5 or 6.
You don't need 5 or 6.
Straight from 4 to 7.
4 to 7, yeah.
That makes a certain amount of sense. You want to go fast, right?
Yes.
You got to get there.
That's right. Don't recommend doing that.
Oh, okay.
Absolutely.
So that's
a bad thing. That's what I kept doing, because I was having an issue with the shifter, but I got it after, so it was fine. Luckily I figured out what I was doing wrong, and I was actually not too bad with the whole thing. I did it. I went for my road test.
And how did that go?
Well, it could have gone a little better, but it's okay.
Tell me more.
I'll tell you more. So I did my road test. You have to pass your air brakes as well before you can even do anything. I passed my air brakes. I passed my written test. You go to do your road test, you start off with your air brakes, and you have to pass that, or else...
What does that entail? Just using the air brakes?
Yeah, and doing your tests, all your air tests, to make sure you have no leaks, and to make sure your pressure is all right, and a lot of steps. So after I did that, okay, boom, did a couple more things. Couple the trailer, uncouple the trailer, or uncouple it and then couple it back up. And then you hit the road jack, and then you go for a little tour throughout the city. And the instructor's there, and she tells you where to go, and you gotta hope to hell that you're doing things correctly. And, well, I did mostly. Had a little bit of an issue slowing down, coming to a stop where, red light or whatever, because you're trying to shift down, but you only have so much room, and you gotta do it. It's all about speed. Chow! But it's all about the precision as well. So
speed and precision.
Speed and precision, and it takes a little time to get used to. I'm not gonna lie. I never thought I would even make it that far, to be honest with you. And to all the listeners out there, I was like, no, this is not happening for me. I can't do this. I can't do this. But I thought, I almost swore. I just, refocused and kept at it. And I said to myself, I got to see this through to the end, regardless. Whether I pass or I fail, I'm proud of my accomplishments because I learned a skill here, regardless. And the fact that you got me to learn how to do that,
that's amazing. You don't like learning stuff.
I don't like learning stuff like that, and I like my automatics. Automatics are so much more nicer. Well, I don't understand.
A lot easier anyway.
A lot easier. And with my ADHD brain, there was too much happening.
Because you're doing your speed and your precision and you're shifting, and you have to make sure you're not hitting anybody that's else driving on the road, because it's not a closed course.
No, it's not. You're in live traffic.
Oof.
Going, you got to make the turns, and you got to make, you got to do all that, and it's...
So you're working without a net.
You're working without a net, so it's stressful, obviously, but you're shifting, you're clutching, you're braking, or you're accelerating, your hands are on the steering wheel, you're observing everything, and you're checking everything, and it's a lot.
Well,
it's a lot. But pressure only builds diamonds.
There you go. Well, everything you've told me over the last several months of this tells me I would not want to have anything to do with it.
That's fair.
I don't.
It's not for everybody. I can tell you that, and I don't even know if it's for me. Coming out of this, so I passed my air brakes. So I have my Z now to my license, my GZ. What I need is my AZ.
Okay.
Or the DZ.
And what'll that give you?
DZ, you can do all the heavy equipment.
Can you do the trailer and the...
No. You need the AZ for the
big rigs with the trailers.
Yes.
But with a DZ, you could get a dump truck?
Yeah.
Okay.
You can do all those types of...
And right now you don't have a D or an A, but you do have the Z, or the Z for our American listeners.
I have the Z, I have the Z.
And what'll that give you? What can you do?
So I can drive any straight truck below 11,000 pounds, or tow trucks, I think, as well.
You could be a tow truck operator.
So and
a dump truck operator?
Not a dump truck. I need the D.
The D.
I need the D.
Oh, everybody needs the D.
Everybody needs the D.
Oh my. Okay, so no dump trucks.
Nothing yet for so no heavy equipment, no big transports. Now coming out of this whole thing, I've already basically realized to myself, I don't want to do the long haul thing. I have no desire to do that and haul these trailers and go long distance away from home. No. So
not for you.
Not for me. I would be perfectly fine staying local and doing any of those other things. Now, here is what I didn't tell you off air.
Oh, this is new for me and the listeners.
New for you and the listeners.
I'm excited.
Yeah, you should be. So, because I didn't pass my road test to the standards, I have to reschedule my road test and do it again.
Have you done so? Have you rescheduled?
I have not rescheduled.
Are you going to reschedule?
Well, that's the kicker.
Oh, here we go.
This is where the Robin luck kicks in, okay?
Tell me more.
Tell me more, tell me more. So, I got a hold of the campus and the training center, and I had my questions and all, whatever.
Mm-hmm.
So I got my Z, and that's all well and good. I don't have to redo that or rewrite that.
Good.
Now, for my road test, and because it's the AZ road test, it's $450 to redo it. Plus, if I need any more lessons, it's $150 an hour.
Okay, so it's not covered by the whatever.
No, so they only covered
the initial training.
And so if I wish to pursue that, I need to do a little work first. So if you need a driver that has an A or a GZ, I'm your guy.
Right.
Yeah.
Okay, so you could maybe do a tow truck?
Maybe, yeah.
Okay.
Yeah.
Have you, with your new GZ licensing, have you put out any resumes?
I've been looking, but I haven't found anything that's just particular for just air brakes yet. So I can't apply to AZ and I can't apply to DZ at the moment. So I'm going to see if the driving or the road test for the DZ license, I'm going to see how much that is, because that could be cheaper than the $450. And if I just go with the D,
dump trucks,
and heavy equipment. But I also wrote my C license when I was writing my other license.
Did you get the C?
I passed the license for the written.
Okay.
But I don't think you get it unless you pass your road test, and I don't know if that needs to be with the AZ. Itself. I think it does, so that might...
But you need some more information to find out all the details.
Yeah. But realistically, if I did that and I do that, boom, 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 I would have an AZC license, or ACZ, I guess. I don't know. But yeah, it would give me plenty of opportunities and different options, which would be great and fantastic.
And then you could drive all the things.
And then I could drive all the things.
To all the places.
With
all the stuff.
Besides just driving people crazy.
Well, you're good at that.
I'm great at that.
And you don't even have a license for that.
No, I'm an expert at that.
It's natural ability.
Yeah.
You've had it since you were a baby.
That's right. So, that was the adventures in the Robin trucking experience. And so that's where we're at with that. I've patted myself on the back a couple of times because I'm proud of myself regardless. Whether I got the full thing in the one shot or not. I wasn't expecting to pass it all, to be honest, so I got at least half of it.
Oh, there you go.
Yeah, because it was hard. Like, it was tough. It was difficult.
It sounds like it is.
Like, I kept questioning myself, and I was like, this, I can't do. Like, it was... But...
Okay. So what's your next step? You need to find $450?
Basically, yeah. So I'm going to go sell some lemonade down the street, I guess.
That's a good idea.
Start a lemonade stand.
Why not?
Yeah.
There you go.
Yeah.
All right. So next steps.
I look for work. Try to find something.
Right.
EI runs out soon, so
EI runs out soon. EIO, no.
EIO, no.
Yeah.
Yeah.
So you better get some work, or you're going to be living on the street.
Yeah.
You can't even be in a van down by the river because you don't have a van anymore.
I don't have a van anymore.
No.
Yeah.
Oh boy.
So.
All right. So we'll have to wait and see what happens, I guess. But that's the Robin story for 2024.
Yeah.
It's a good check-in and a catch-up for our listeners.
Yeah, absolutely.
All right. And anything else that you wanted to share with them?
Let's see. Anything else I wanted to share? No, not unless we have some artists out here listening that want to assist me in drawing my comic.
All right, because you're also working on a comic book.
I am working on a comic book.
You're not an artist.
But I'm not an artist. I have been practicing drawing, and I'm okay, but...
Not great?
I'm not where I would like my art to be, and I would prefer
all right,
somebody with a little bit more experience in that arena.
Makes sense.
So
calling all artists.
How would they
get a hold of you?
You can get a hold of me on Facebook at Rubino Heat, at... I don't even know what my things are anymore. Instagram is Robin Wild. Or Rubino Heat.
Wild with...
with a Y. Just type in Rubino Heat, and you should you should find me on there.
Okay.
I'm also on the X or Twitter or whatever, but that's about it.
Okay, sounds good. All right, well, I appreciate you sharing your story with all of us out here in podcast land.
Oh, for sure.
And for all you listeners out there, thanks for stopping by The Forge. Hope you take care of yourselves and each other. And remember to subscribe to and download the all-new Have Coffee, Will Travel podcast. Thank you for listening to another episode of the Soul Forge podcast. Your support is greatly appreciated, and we hope you'll tune in again next time. Remember that you can visit soulforgepodcast.com for all of our social media links. And don't forget to share the show with everyone you know. The Soul Forge podcast is your best source for living your best life.
Think about it.
Welcome to the Have Coffee, Will Travel podcast. Are you ready to embark on a journey filled with laughter, adventure, and insightful conversations? Join Sean and Leah as they dive into the exciting world of travel, family life, pop culture, and everything in between. Here's what you can expect from each episode. Sean, a lifelong Star Trek fan with over a decade of podcasting experience.
Leah, a Disney enthusiast, actress, and nurse who brings her unique perspective to the table. Some topics we cover include travel tips and experiences,
family dynamics and stories,
pop culture insights,
cooking adventures,
and thrifting finds.
Every episode will be a new adventure.
Our mission is simple: to share advice, life lessons, and entertainment that resonates with you. Whether you're commuting, relaxing at home, or planning your next trip, we're here to keep you company. You can find us on all major podcast platforms and YouTube.
So grab your coffee and get ready to join us
for some fun-filled discussions.
The Have Coffee, Will Travel podcast.
This has been a broadcast of the ESO Network. Be part of the crew and help support our shows by donating to our ESO Patreon or by shopping at the TeePublic store, which can all be found at www.esonetwork.com. The ESO Network, your station for all things geek.